T-minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Good afternoon, family. How you doing? It's Mr. Russell here at the Innovation Black Chamber of Commerce, and we are here to tell you about Success Knows My Name, and we're going to be interviewing one of our members, which is Ondek. Let me go ahead and put it on the screen so you don't have to ask, well, what are you guys talking about? We're talking about Ondek Healthcare. So we're going to bring in the two phenomenal owners. I've been knowing them ever since, maybe 3 years now, maybe 4 years. I bring them in so we can have Mr. Brandon as well as Miss Tanya coming in all the way from Harker Heights.
Hello.
How you doing, ma'am? And we got Mr. Brandon.
Hello.
Yeah, so tell the people who you are, and then let's go jump 2 feet deep in how success knows your name.
Right.
All right.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that you have us on board, Ronnie, and we'll definitely like to explain who Ondek Healthcare is. Tanya, would you like to go ahead and take the floor and start it off?
Sure. Well, my name is Tanya Lewis, and I am the founder of Ondek Healthcare, and Brendan is my husband, who is the co-founder of Ondek Healthcare. And Ondek is spelled Ondek, no C. I am a registered nurse with over 20 years of nursing experience. I'm located right here in Central Texas. I used to work for a staffing agency. And at the time when I was working for other staffing agencies, I noticed that the healthcare facilities needed a lot of assistance. They needed a lot of help. So in 2019 is when we started Ondek Healthcare so that we can be able to assist other facilities with hiring nurses and clinicians faster. So, Brandon, you want to
Yes.
tell them about you?
Yes. So, my name is Brandon Sayers. I am the co-founder of Ondek Healthcare. We essentially transitioned into Ondek prior to, start off like this. Prior to Ondek, we was with Crab King Seafood. We did X strategy with them. We gradually transitioned over into the healthcare space, which was a no-brainer for us due to the fact of some of the connections we had in the healthcare space. Like she stated, we was birthed around 2019. Since then, we've got more traction. I want to say in 2020, and that was due to COVID. Yes, and so from there, we've just been trying to build out Ondek to a point to where it's a culture of care, and yeah, trying to corner the market. Yeah.
All right, so what was that transition like? Because I know you came from the food industry and now you're going to healthcare. So what was that transition like for you, Tanya?
Well, yeah. So for me, it was really the other way around was harder, to be honest with you, because like I said, I've been a nurse for 20 years, and I've been working nursing all my life. And then my husband kind of got into the restaurant industry, and he brought me in and was like, "Hey, I need help, blah blah blah." So I was like, "Yeah, I'll come in and help you out." And I was like, "Whoa," it was like a whole nother world for me. So just kind of hopping into restaurant was like it was a lot. And so then once he got acquired, and then we hopped out of restaurant, went back into nursing. It was like, this is what I know. I know this industry well because I've worked everywhere in the nursing industry. I've worked in the ICU, the ER, nursing home, pediatrics. So the experience is there. I had the experience. So that was nothing, hard for me to transition out of the restaurant to the healthcare field.
Yeah. So, Mr. Brandon, now you left from the food industry into a whole industry that was like you were seeing it from the outside. Now you're on the inside. So,
Inside.
what was your transition like?
My transition, with most things that are new, it's always difficult, but it's been somewhat challenging. Just trying to understand the healthcare space overall. But
Hmm.
as you immerse yourself into with anything that you're trying to do, you start to figure out the little kinks, and you evolve and you get better over time. So, yeah, that's exactly where we at, and so. I mean, the sky's the limit with On Deck, and we seemed as though we here lately we've been getting a lot of traction, not only on the private side, but possibly it's looking like on the government and city and state side. So yeah.
Right. So now we're talking about traction. Let's tell them what traction is, and how does traction how has traction been um, just a stepping stone into what the future of On Deck is going to look like.
Mhm. Can you repeat that again, Ronnie?
So traction, a lot of
Mhm,
people, some traction is different from traction in the food industry,
mhm.
traction into healthcare, and now you're merging healthcare with now technology and healthcare as far as with employment. So what does traction look like for On Deck?
Tanya, you want to go ahead and cover that one?
Oh, okay. So I believe traction for us is just pretty much being able to gain a lot of clinicians when needed, and to be able to do it effectively.
Hmm.
And with me already being um, in the nursing space, I kind
Yeah,
of already I'm already able to be able to see who's qualified or not
yeah,
quickly. So a lot of times, if my back office have any questions, they'll always come and ask me, and I'm like,
yeah.
oh no, and I'm able to like kind of like bring it back. No, no, no. This is how it, this is how it works, or no, don't do this. And so I'm able to at least catch things before it goes further. But I feel that with me having that experience there, that I can gain a lot of traction just being able to employ more clinicians.
Right. So let's, Mr. Brandon, now from an operations standpoint,
Mhm.
we see you got that board in the back. What does what does it look like for you from operations? Because when you're learning something new, let's talk about what we're looking at right now.
Yeah, so this is one of many other boards that we have in our garage. A lot of people don't know that this startup has uh, originally was birthed out of a garage, and so but back to your question, yes. So essentially, the operations here, what you're seeing, this is a board that we essentially we jot down things that we want to target and implement within our organization, our goals, and trying to figure out how can we work our way towards these goals. So, for example, one of our key points is to build something like Amazon, not only just Amazon, but Chick-fil-A, their ideology is, creating a culture of care. And so that's something that we would like. The old saying is, "Become the best, you learn from the best." So, we know Amazon and Chick-fil-A standpoints, and it's ultimately customer service. It's less hassle, quick turnarounds, and that's exactly where we're at. And we want to be able to solve problems for the clinicians, but not only the clinician, for our clients, quickly and efficiently, is one of our main targets. And then the little things matter. So if it's just conversating with our clinicians, getting to better understand their wants and needs, giving them a voice, acknowledging them, it starts there. And I think from that point, it starts to transition into the respect factor and the performance factor. So when they go out in the field, they know that we care about them. So in return, they're going to care about us, and they understand it's not just another job, another quick gig that they're making a few bucks on. And opening to one of those open shifts, that they actually understand that, hey, we're fully dedicated to them and so on. So that's something that we do have on our board. Another key point is we get nurses where you need them when you need them, and that's something we stand firm on. We're very small, but we move like a Fortune 500 company. From our team members in the back office, they're very effective. They'll work 14, 15 hours a day to get our clients the needs that they, or meet their needs that they may have, and also on the clinician side to meet their needs that they may have if it's a certain vicinity they want to stay in, or mileage, or even if it's a certain cost factor of, hey, I feel like I'm worth this much opposed to this much. We definitely listen. We definitely understand. And that's because, once again, we have people in our back office, our C-level execs that's created this platform. They're nurses too. So, nurse owned and operated. So, yeah, hopefully that answers your question.
Yes, sir. 100%. So while you were doing that, I was kind of on my phone.
Yeah,
Go ahead and drop in this interview in the nurse groups that I'm in. Now, have you heard of? Let me make sure I get it. I don't want to say the wrong name. The NURS, the Black Nurses Rock. You ever heard of them?
Yes, we heard of them.
Okay, so what I just did, I put it in their East Texas group. I put it in the Austin group, and I also just put this interview inside of the Black Nurses Rock in the San Antonio group as well. So I just dropped this interview and all those. So now, if you're watching, now that it's inside of those groups, and if you're interested in now, you kind of said something that is definitely going to change the game. So now, if a nurse is looking for a job per se, now you're saying it's not a job, right?
Yeah, Tanya.
Okay, where are you going with this?
Yeah, where are you going with it, Ronnie?
No, I'm saying you said it's not a job. It's more so. Is it like gig work, or is it they're hired and that's where they're going to work forever?
In most cases, to clarify that question, in most cases, you can look at it as the clinicians. Usually, when they jump on board with agency, they're freelancers.
Gotcha.
So it's still gig job. It's yeah. So but they move on their own flexibility, on their own time in terms. So yeah, hopefully,
right. Yeah. And I think that's definitely going to help them out, especially if they want to begin to put themselves in different areas. So I think that's another good thing, because if you worked in Killeen your entire career, and now you're taking some work that's in East Texas, and now the next thing you know, you're all the way in Amarillo. So now you're learning, and you may be able to learn from this location that you can be another subject matter expert, because you're learning from different people.
Correct.
So I think so for you, Ms. Tanya, how has your background allowed you to mentor clinicians coming into this program?
Oh, well, so I'm sorry. You can hear me now,
Yeah.
right?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
So what I find out a lot is there are times where they may be afraid because they may have not worked at a certain location in a while. And so, because I've worked everywhere, I'm able to walk them through the steps, and I'm like, hey, look, this is what to expect.
Yeah.
And so I think that's what they love the most, is that I'm able to tell them what to expect before they actually go to their location. And that right there give them a sense of comfort. And some of the facilities I'm sending them to, I've actually have experience of working there. So I'm literally like, okay, well, when you document, this is the type of EMR system that they're using. And this is, you want to make sure that you I don't know, I'm able to kind of like, weed them through their job site a lot of times. And so when I do that, they're like, oh, thank you so much. I never had no one do that before. And I'm like, that's because I understand and I know I've been there, done that.
Right. So for everyone that's out there, make sure you share this live on your platform. Why? Because there may be someone that is in the healthcare that need to know more about Ondek. So make sure you go to the website. That's www.ondekkcare.com. ONDEKcare.com and investigate the site, learn more about the site, and pass that link on to someone else if you're not in the healthcare industry, because I'm sure someone knows someone that is in the industry that have been looking, especially if you're coming from if you're just moving in the city. Now, if you're just moving outside of Texas, and now do you have to have any sort of Texas license, or just as long as you are, what do you call it?
Just as long as you have your no,
Yes.
so if you want to work in the state of Texas, yes, you will have to have your state certification or your state Texas license in order to be able to work in the facilities. Now, there's times where we do make an exception, but that's only on the basis of when there's a emergency, like a nationwide emergency, like what we had with the pandemic, where
Yeah.
we was able to send out clinicians, whether they license was in Texas or not. But
Yeah.
right now that things have kind of died down with that, we're just only taking clinicians with certifications inside the state of Texas.
Okay, so let's go ahead and let's show people what OnDeck is. So if you can, if you're ready, go ahead and pull the slide up, and we can go into it to let you guys see, not just hear. You've been hearing about OnDeck, so now we're going to give you the short presentation where you
Okay,
can
I'll let you
begin to
present,
learn.
and I'll piggyback. Can you hear
He
me,
thought,
Ronnie?
yeah, he thought he was on mute. All right, so
Oh,
we're going. All right, so we're gonna bring it up. All right, the floor is yours.
all righty. So you want to go ahead and lead this one, Tanya?
So sure. So yes, as you can see, Ondek Healthcare is a healthcare placement firm, and one of the problems that we noticed were there were, as a staffing agency, what you see out there at hospitals and nursing homes is that there's a high turnover rate. There's lack of quality employees. They're severely understaffed. Sometimes it takes a long time to get hired, and then the staff is burnt out. And so what OnDeck does is we come in and we have a large database of professionals that are ready to go. We have a performance KPI that we keep up with. We specialize in creating opportunities and incentives for our employees. We're able to actually hire faster because we have some techniques that we use and strategies that we use that we're not going to share. And we also have a staffing coordinator. Well, we call them in-house. It's called a
Health
HMC.
healthcare managed coordinators, and those healthcare managed coordinators are the ones that usually our clinicians are tied to at the hip. So if there's any kind of special requirements that clinician may be seeking out, they want to work in a specific city or a certain radius, they're looking for a certain amount of money, they will inform that healthcare managed coordinators of their needs, and we will try to meet them as much as possible. So yeah, they're the client and clinician relations managers essentially. So they're pretty much at um, your readiness or whatever you want to call it, 24/7. So yeah, but go ahead too.
Absolutely. Next slide. And so again, it was Ondek Healthcare was birthed in
My bad.
2019, uh-huh. And so what we provide is we search and we staff and vet clinicians. We place them into our database, and we also, of course, provide payroll. So we're considered employee of record. Um, we do have we have thousands of shifts that are open and ready to be filled. And you want to go to the next slide?
Yes.
And some of the facilities that we're covering is hospitals, nursing homes, doctors' offices, assisted living rehab centers. And some of those positions that we hire for are LVNs, RNs, CNAs, medication aides. So if anyone out there is an LVN, RN, CNA, med aid, you can give us a call at 254-449-1633. We'll get you in touch with one of our recruiters that would set you up with an interview to see if you're qualified and able to go out to the job sites that we have open. Next slide. And so, as we know, in the healthcare industry, the market is really big. The SIA, which is the Staffing Industry Analysis, says that there's a $19.9 billion market, and that was in 2020. So, no, I'm not sure what it is now for
Yeah.
2021.
Yes.
Mhm. Okay.
Looks like we got something missing there.
Yeah. So basically here, it's a favorable market because, there's a lot of baby boomers, as you may know. So a lot of people, a lot of nurses are going to be retiring soon, and then technology is also is being integrated, and what is this, and so forth. So yeah, we're just trying to capture the market as it grows. Mm.
So our values driven is we are value based, purpose driven organization. Our advantage is solving, once again, client and clinician issues quickly and efficiently. Ultimately, once again, we want to be able to create something different from our competitors because we genuinely do care about our clinicians, but our clients, without them guys being successful, we won't be successful. So we like to give them voices and, actually caring and being authentic and genuine. A lot of other staffing agencies are not like that, and that's something that we take a notice to, and we want to change in this industry. Once again, 24/7 healthcare coordinators are available at all times. So if you call, most of the time they're either going to answer the phone or one of our other team members are going to answer the phone. But it doesn't matter what time of the day you call, you're going to speak to somebody that is part of the organization. There is no second or third party company answering the calls, taking messages and forwarding to us. We don't believe in that. We don't like it, so we don't. Of course, we don't have it in our organization. Um, so we are very proactive in understanding clients' needs, bills, and essentially trying to build a flexible workforce, not only just with the clients but the clinicians too. We're trying to create an authentic culture, like I've stated, from the back office to the clinicians in the field. We're highly competitive with our pricing and so on. Um, and yeah, it's no hassle, most convenient experience, fast turnarounds, and so on. So if there is some healthcare administrators that are watching this video, or what is it, DONs that are needing clinicians, these things do apply to you guys. Uh, we are, of course, nurse owned and operated with a deeper understanding of requirements on both sides of the floor. Um, and we have deep clinical experience. I think it's what 65 plus years altogether combined from our C-level execs. And once again, we're creating solutions and opportunity to support permanent placement for clinicians and for the clients that are looking tirelessly for good help. And we're all about reducing turnover rates, and improving nurse-patient care ratios. So moving on, our hiring process is essentially clinical information verification is usually our first step. So you can expect us to do like a thorough check on, your license certifications and so on. And then we move into an interview. If everything is met on the first step, we move into that interview phase. The third phase is skills evaluation, and then that fourth phase, the skills evaluation is nothing challenging or anything. It's just your basic skills evaluation. It's usually little questionnaires that are given, but yeah, it doesn't take that long, about 15 minutes or so. Then it's into the step 4 phase is employment verification. So references that is given to us, we do check those very solidly. In some cases, we also check social media to match some of these things, and that's for the sake of making sure everything is authentic for the sake of the client. And then we make that final phase, which is step 5, the hiring decision. And then from there, based on the clinician, they're where they want to be vetted or where they want the assignments they want to work, we make sure it's a good match with our current active clients that we're working with. And then, of course, if it's a good match, we make that offer to them, and then they decide if they want to take it. Again, we minimize hiring time. We cut that scheduling by up to 90%. Is where we at it with our open shifts, fast, reduced overtime up to 90%, lowering cost of hiring, reduced cost. We've improved in communication and so on. Some of the areas that we typically go into and cover is social media, paid promotions, email, SMS marketing. We drive traffic, SEO, job boards, and so on. Referrals, word of mouth. That's our main thing. Most of the clinicians that work for us, they usually tell other clinicians, and it sort of spreads, and that's also on the client side. All right. You want to go ahead and take this one over, Tanya?
Sure. So as you can see, this is our head team, our C-level team. As you can see me, I have a bachelor's degree in nursing, and I'm the founder and CEO with over 20 years experience. As you can see, Brandon, he's a co-founder, COO. He has over 10 years of experience in the oil field. He used to work in the oil field and gas sector. He does have an previous experience of owning a business, which was Crab King Seafood, and that was out of Houston. Here you see Rory Lewis. He's actually a doctor. He's an orthopedic surgeon. He has over 30 years of medical experience. Plus, he used to be in the Army, so he's a 15-year Army vet. Tara Manley, she's a PA, which is a physician assistant, which she actually works in the orthopedic sector also. So she has 14 years experience in that. Dawn Lewis, she's also a physician assistant with multiple titles, masters in business and other titles there. She's also a board member and a vice president. She's has multiple experience in the healthcare industry also. And then as you can see, Zara, she has a bachelor's degree in nursing, and she's one of our health manager coordinator, which you can get in touch with 24/7. And she has over 4 years of experience in that. Mm-hmm.
Yes, ma'am. So we got a question right now that came from the chat. Does your company work with military and VA hospitals as well?
Anya, you want to go ahead?
That's a good question. So that's something that we are actually getting into. So we are in the works of trying to win some proposals right now. So yes, we are capable. We're just bidding right now.
Right. And as y'all see the slide that's up right now, if you're interested, make sure you give them a call. Call 254-449-1633. That's 254-449-1633, and that's extension 101. Extension 101. All right. It's been a very, very, very informative conversation that we had, and I think this is one of the top ones. There's a lot of information. So we all know someone that is talking about looking for a job. We all know someone that is trying to find access to employment. This right here actually merges both of those requests from looking for a job and having access to the resources. Make sure you go to ondekcare.com and tap into what they have, because they have the ability to put you in a position to where you can be employed. Or if you are wanting to get out and do something different and go to another location because you are licensed here in the state of Texas, as far as whether you are RN and LPN, all that other good stuff. I'm just spitting that language like I know what I'm talking about.
Hey, I'm the same.
Right. So if you're one of those elemental P's out there in the healthcare industry, go on ondekcare.com and see what they have out there for you. Now, I'm proud of y'all. So what have been your experience thus far by being members of the Innovation Black Chamber of Commerce, and how have we helped you with your business?
Good question, Ronnie. You've not only just you, but the organization that you've started helped us tremendously in so many ways, with just counseling on the back end, to leveraging us with financial issues, putting us in touch with the right people to give us more insight. If it wasn't necessarily insight, it was more of a direction on what we need to do and where we need to go, how to leverage ourselves, and how to get into um, better financial spaces with our organization. So, for example, I know that we was banking with one particular bank. I can't remember the name of them off the top
I
of my
know.
head.
I'm just playing.
Yeah, I'm not. I know too, but I'm not gonna mention their name. But yeah. So the experience overall was not where we wanted it to be, and we understand it. Definitely, because business once again is not new to us, so we sort of used to it, and it's sad that you have to get used to being treated as a number opposed to being treated as a person, and not only just necessarily a person, but a business that's wanting to go places and do things. And so, that question arises like, do we keep dealing with this? What do we do? And at one point, it sort of felt hopeless. And me and you chatted on the back end, and like always, you're there to assist. Us, not just us, but your people in this culture and so on. And you pointed us in the right direction, and that opened the door that I would have never thought that would have opened the way it did. It's so quickly. And so you know that at that point, we did an exit strategy with that bank, and you pointed us to South Star Bank. And those guys definitely deserve their flowers for the way they conduct themselves and the way they're just very authentic, and in that space of just genuinely caring and trying to help you out and build your empire up. And so day one, connecting with Somalia through you, it's been I don't know if I want to use the term downhill, but it's been very smooth. And in such short period, we're now, I think we're in the brinks of getting a line of credit with these guys, just opening better financial opportunities for us to allow us to grow as a black business. And so, yeah, without that, God knows where we would have, where we would be. So my hat goes off not only to the South Star Bank people, but yourself, and you being fully dedicated and committed. You don't find too many people like yourself in this world. So that's why I've sort of stayed very close knitted with you, because you don't find uh, people like yourself. So we're very appreciative of that.
He
And I
frozen.
think a lot of people need to take yeah, but I think people definitely need to take notice to that. Definitely take notice. We give a lot of glorification and gratitude and to people through social media, these rappers and stuff, but they don't do nothing from us, nothing for us, and they're constantly taking from us, and they never really build us up. But people like Ronnie deserves all the things that we give these celebrities, shall I say. So the acknowledgement and the recognition and so on. So, but if you're in the space of trying to create a business, I would highly recommend you to reach out to Ronnie, inform him of your circumstances or situation, and he definitely he knows people. He knows people. So yes, yes, sir.
All right. So again, I definitely appreciate you guys for being here. I've learned a lot. You know, trust me. If Brandon hit a wall, he's eventually going to break through it. So he's one of those people. He's not. It's not that he's hard headed. His head is conditioned to break through barriers. It is conditioned to break through walls because he is a true disruptor. And I think if you're in business, you must have a disruptive spirit because there are some times it's not always going to be vanilla. It's not always going to be cookie cutter. There's going to be times you're going to have to put your helmet on and run through that wall in order for you to see what's on the other side of that situation. In order for you to see what's on the other side of the conditions that you do not want to be in, sometimes you have to create the condition. Sometimes creating the condition may be after you get that bump on your head to know, man, maybe I should not go around this corner because I keep getting punched in the face every time I go around a corner. Maybe I should go around the other corner and counter.
There you go.
So, I mean, both of you have learned, especially, I mean, I'm just proud, hands down, proud of what you guys doing and just seeing it grow from where it was to where it is and just being able to listen because a lot of times people don't want to listen.
Right.
And because they don't want to listen, they don't have the ability to know what is being heard. Being heard is the is the comprehension of sound.
Right.
You can listen to something and it can make noise. But when you listen, it allows you to comprehend and to make the proper choices that's going to put you in a position to align yourself in the place that you're supposed to be.
Right.
So I'm going to get off of that. But I definitely appreciate you guys for being here on deck. If I would say, you know, hats off to you, but I'll be taking my hat off. But I don't want to. Anyway, I appreciate you and Tanya for being the people that you are because your son seeing you work is going to allow them to know that there's value behind hard work.
Right.
That there's initiative that comes with hard work. And in order for you to get to the other side of that hill, you must understand that there is an upward climb, not upward battle, but there's an upward climb. There may be battles, but don't worry about the battle. It's about the journey. It's about the journey that will get you to the destination that you seek. So there's going to be an upward climb. But don't worry about the battle. Just stay in the journey because the journey is going to get you to your destination. So again, we definitely thank everybody for being here. We thank you guys for being here and being a part of the Innovation Black Chamber of Commerce. And as you already know, here at the Innovation Black Chamber of Commerce, we are about building a better tomorrow today. Hey, you guys be blessed. Enjoy the rest of your day. And any last words? Because I know Brandon got something to say.
It's something. You know, the other day, me and Rory, which is one of our board members, Ambassador Rory Lewis, the orthopedic surgeon, we was talking the other day in reference to another build out or sector of Ondek, and he had mentioned something. It was actually in pertaining to blockchaining, but he had mentioned something to where we was talking about who can we bring on board to help us tackle these projects, and usually we like to keep it, how can I say it, within our culture. We first think of who can we hire within that's closest to us, that looks parallel to ourselves. And he had mentioned something. You want to go ahead and tell him what it is that he had said precisely, Tanya. I know you remember it. It was something about the islands. Am I saying it right?
It's always good to have a strong woman.
Yeah. So basically, what he was saying was that we should create an NFT so that we can do a smart contract, and once we do the smart contract, then we can put it into a blockchain, I believe.
Right.
Is that what it was?
What I'm speaking of is the last part where he was saying we're like islands. We're essentially are segregated. We're separate.
Yes. He said every man is like an island on their own, pretty much, and we're segregated, and we don't come together and put ideals together and try to help each other out.
Right.
So yeah,
that's essentially what I was trying to say. But that's something that I think we need to practice more of.
Right.
Yes, sir. But that was it.
So I would say when you're ready to go that NFT route and the blockchain route, I do have another connect that you can connect to. That's Brother Khalif. I mean, he is brother's a nerd. I love adult nerds because it's okay when you a child and you a nerd, it don't feel good to be a nerd. But when you an adult and you a nerd, everybody needs something that you have. So shout out to all my blurs out there. If you a nerd and you smart, you are an asset to the community. So Again, thank you guys for being here. Here at the Innovation Black Chamber of Commerce, we are here about building you and building you up. And remember, it's not about the battle, it's about the journey, because the journey takes you to the destination. Hey, you guys be blessed. Enjoy the rest of your day.
All right,
Peace.
take it easy, Ronnie. Thank you.